Right now, billions of people around the world are watching the FIFA World Cup 2026, the biggest tournament in human history, and asking one question: what makes a champion? We watch the goals, the saves, the celebrations, but we almost never see the real match, the one that was decided long before kickoff. Because if you lined up winners and losers side by side, they would look almost identical. Same fitness, same skill, same training. So what is actually different? The difference is not in the legs, it is in the brain. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Every World Cup champion in history won the game inside their mind first. The pitch was just where they confirmed what they already knew. So today, we are going to break down the 10 psychological pillars that separate World Cup champions from everyone else. And every single one of them applies to your life too. Sports psychologists agree, up to 90% of elite athletic performance is mental. Yet almost all training time is spent on the 10% that is physical. These are the 10 things that live inside every champion's mind. And this is what they look like from the inside. Pillar 1. Absolute self-belief. Champions do not hope they can win. They know they can. And that certainty is not arrogance. It is a trained psychological state. They stand in front of the mirror before the biggest game of their lives and see not doubt, but a person who has earned the right to be exactly where they are. Under the lights, with millions watching and everything on the line, self-belief is the only currency that matters, and champions spend years building their account. Pillar 2. Pressure is fuel. While most people feel pressure as a threat, World Cup champions have trained their nervous system to experience pressure as energy. The same weight that crushes one player is the same weight that launches another. The difference is entirely psychological, not physical. A champion's heart rate rises before a penalty, yes, but it rises in a controlled, focused way that enhances performance rather than destroying it. Pillar 3. Process over result. Champions do not think about the trophy during the match. They think about the next touch, the next pass, the very next moment. The ability to reset within 3 seconds of a mistake, to forget it completely and return to the present, is one of the most rehearsed skills in elite football psychology. A 90-minute match contains 89 opportunities after a single mistake. The champion focuses on those 89, not the one. Pillar 4. Elite self-talk. The voice inside your head is either your greatest coach or your most dangerous opponent. Champions decide which one it will be. Daily affirmation and deliberate self-talk are not soft habits. Neuroscience confirms they literally rewire the neural pathways that govern performance under pressure. Champions filter every piece of mental input through a lens that converts threat into challenge and failure into data. And they practice this reframe every single day. Pillar 5. Visualization. Champions live the victory in their mind so many times before it happens that when the moment arrives, their nervous system treats it as familiar territory. The brain cannot fully distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one, which is why mental rehearsal physically prepares the same neural pathways as physical practice. When a champion opens their eyes after visualization, they do not feel nervous. They feel ready, because to them, they have already been here before. Pillar 6. Resilience. Every World Cup champion has a failure story larger than most people's success stories. What separates them is not that they fell less, but that they rose differently. Resilience is not the absence of pain. It is the decision to keep moving while the pain is still present, before the recovery is complete. Research consistently shows that elite performers who experience setback and recover from it end up performing at a higher level than they did before the fall. Pillar 7. Team psychology. The greatest individual champions in World Cup history are also, without exception, the players who made their teammates perform beyond their own expectations. A champion celebrates a teammate's goal with more energy than their own, because they understand that the team's victory is their victory, and they have eliminated ego from their performance equation. When a team shares a psychological identity, a common belief, a collective purpose, they access a collective performance ceiling that no individual, however talented, can reach alone. Pillar 8. Emotional regulation. A champion who loses their composure has handed their opponent the most powerful weapon in the game, the ability to control the champion's own mind. Elite athletes train their emotional regulation as deliberately as they train their physical fitness, learning to dial each feeling to its optimal level rather than suppressing or surrendering to it. One breath in the middle of chaos, taken deliberately and consciously. This single micro-habit is practiced by sports psychologists with the world's best players before every major tournament. Pillar 9. Preparation obsession. Champions do not believe in luck. They believe in preparation so complete that luck becomes irrelevant. The tactical analysis, the extra sessions, the obsessive attention to marginal details. This is the invisible work that looks like talent on match day. Every hour of preparation is a vote cast for the version of yourself that performs under pressure. Champions simply vote more consistently than everyone else. Pillar 10. Legacy thinking. The champions who win World Cups are not just playing for today's result. They are playing for history, for their country, for every person who believed in them. When a player pulls on that jersey in a World Cup final, they feel the weight of millions. And instead of crumbling under it, the champion uses it as the most powerful fuel available to a human being. Playing for something larger than yourself removes the ego from the equation and replaces it with a sense of purpose that no tactical opponent can take away. All 10 pillars: self-belief, pressure as fuel, process focus, elite self-talk, visualization, resilience, team mentality, emotional regulation, preparation, and legacy. These are not separate habits. They are one integrated champion psychology. And in the FIFA World Cup 2026, with 48 teams, the greatest players alive, and the whole world watching, every single winner in every single round will carry all 10 of these inside them. This is the moment. Penalty. World Cup final. Everything on the line. And every champion who has ever stood here tells us the same thing. The decision was made long before this moment. Close your eyes. See it go in. Trust your preparation. And your nervous system performs what your mind has already rehearsed 1,000 times. The ball flies. The goalkeeper guesses wrong. The net moves. And in that single second, 10 years of psychological work becomes visible for the first time. This is the moment. Teammates colliding, arms everywhere, voices breaking. The most human expression of what it means to commit completely to something bigger than yourself. But here is what I need you to understand. This is not just about football. It never was, it never will be. Every single one of these 10 pillars, every tool in the champion's psychological arsenal is available to you right now, today, in whatever arena your life presents. The player who writes their visualization before a World Cup final is doing exactly what you can do before a job interview, a difficult conversation, or the first day of your new life. The only thing that separates the path that leads somewhere from the path that leads nowhere is the psychology you choose to carry with you. The biggest opponent you will ever face is the voice inside your own head. And the good news is, that is also the only opponent you have complete control over. The game is not out there on the pitch. The game is in here. Every morning, every decision, every moment you choose to think like a champion or surrender to something smaller. 10 pillars: self-belief, pressure, process, self-talk, visualization, resilience, team, emotion, preparation, legacy. Read them, know them, live them. It starts with one belief, just one. The belief that the champion's psychology is not reserved for the gifted few, but is available to every single person willing to practice it. You started this video watching the game. You are ending it understanding the game inside the game. And that shift in perspective is itself a champion's move. The stadium does not make the champion. The champion makes the stadium irrelevant, because the real performance was won long before the crowd arrived. Look in the mirror today, and for the first time, see not your limitations, but the champion who has been waiting patiently inside you all along. The World Cup teaches us this: the greatest game is always the one happening inside your mind. And that game never has an off-season. I genuinely believe you are capable of more than you currently allow yourself to imagine. And everything in this video was built to help you see that. Carry the football, carry the psychology, and understand that every champion who ever held that World Cup trophy once stood exactly where you are standing right now. He walks forward now with 10 pillars, one belief, and a notebook full of the psychology that changes everything. And so do you. Until next time, play the game inside your mind like a champion every single day, and watch what happens to the game outside